Well, they say there's no place like home, and it is sure good to be back here in the 680 The Fan Cave. Kevin McAlpin with 680 The Fan and the Atlanta Braves Radio Network. Happy to be home in Atlanta after the longest road trip of the year. Braves are coming off a trip to Washington, Chicago, and New York. A trip that saw them win 6 out of 10 games. A trip that I would probably categorize as good, not great. You want to get greedy and complete a sweep of the Mets, but the Braves were unable to do that on Sunday Night Baseball. Day off yesterday, and now it is 6 straight heading into the All-Star break, and a big series here against their rivals from Philadelphia. The Phillies are back in town here tonight. Braves have a 5.5 game cushion over the second-place Phillies. The Braves enter play tonight 50-35. The Phillies are 4 games over 500. They are 44-40. Now, the biggest difference between where the Braves are and where the Phillies are in the standings is that team from South Florida. The Braves are 8-1 this season against the Miami Marlins. The Phillies continue to have their fair share of struggles. So when you think back to spring training, we talked about this. The Miami Marlins, while they won't really officially factor into the playoff scenario for this season, they're going to keep somebody out of the playoffs. And right now, the Phillies have to be kicking themselves. They have really struggled against the Fish, and they're here in Atlanta. Braves saw them a couple of weeks ago, and a good pitching matchup on hand here for tonight for Game 1. Dallas Keuchel making his home debut for the Braves. Of course, he started a couple of games on the road trip in D.C. and in Chicago. His first time to wear the Braves' home white uniforms here tonight, and he'll be opposed by Aaron Nola. So a good pitching matchup on the mound. A former Cy Young Award winner in Keuchel, and a runner-up in the Cy Young Award voting last season with Aaron Nola. Again, the Braves, the big theme for this series, don't get swept. If they can do no worse than win 1 out of 3, the Braves will still have themselves a 4.5 game cushion in the division heading into the final week before the All-Star break. And of course, the All-Star game going to be a lot of fun to watch here for the Braves and the fans out there here this year. Freddie Freeman and Ronald Acuna Jr. both starting in the game. We also know Mike Soroka will get a chance to wear the All-Star uniform as well for the very first time. And of course, Brian Snitker, part of the coaching staff. But again, first things first, a big series here with the division rivals from Philadelphia. It's the Braves and the Phillies. Game 1 of 3 here tonight, 7:20 p.m. Eastern. Jim Powell and Ben Ingram, they've got the call for you. So hopefully you can join us. If you can't be here at the ballpark, we got you covered on 680 The Fan and the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.